Hi, welcome to Grammar and Thongs. So this is going to be the first in a little series of lessons on how to quote properly, because it's an issue that tends to come up in people's writing. Certainly it's something that I see in my classroom. What I'm trying to avoid is sentences like this in pieces of writing. Here is a quote, Dom surveyed the sunrise in silence. It's just kind of plonked in there. Or a quote that shows this is Dom surveyed the sunrise in silence. There's nothing wrong with that second one in particular, but there are more sophisticated and better ways to get quotes into your work. So I don't want to see this and I don't want to see this. Instead, what I want to see is that you weave your quotes in to your writing. Now there's two ways to do that. You can take little bits out of a longer passage. For example, if you were trying to describe the landscape or the setting of a story, and there was a long passage that at one point mentioned craggy mountains and at another point mentioned wild landscapes, then you should put those direct quotes into your paragraph, weave them in. And the way you would do this is through something like this. Eastern Europe is a land of, quote, craggy mountains, close quote, and, quote, wild landscapes, close quote, which makes anything seem possible. Now you'll see that the comma is outside of the quote mark, and that's because that comma is part of your sentence, not part of the quote. If you were to end the sentence at the word landscapes, like this, forgive the smudging, but if it was to end there, it would say Eastern Europe is a land of craggy mountains and wild landscapes, and the full stop would go outside of the quote because it's the end of your sentence. If you found wild landscapes in the passage, it would actually continue on. So the punctuation belongs with your sentence. Now, sometimes you want a longer sentence, and if that's what you want, then this is what you do. You simply indent the longer quote if it's going over more than a line or a couple of lines. So in the play, Harker feels uneasy as he makes his way to the castle, full colon, here's your quote. As we climbed higher, the sky darkened above the mountains, filling the whole world about me in shadow. End the quote, the full stop goes inside the quote because it's part of that quote, out of the text, Dracula in this case, and then back to your writing. This mysterious atmosphere puts Harker on edge. So it's just indented to show that you're quoting a longer passage from the text. You'll notice also there's ellipsis here. That means that I've cut some of the words out of the full quote, and that's telling the reader that. But I'll say more about that in a future lesson on how to quote. Thank you.